Hello, hello, hello. We got it right this time. I got the intro right, I think, and everything.
All right.
Hello, everybody. You all know Steve, so I guess we should say what we're doing now. So Steve's been on enough times, and we're good enough friends. We live close enough to each other and stuff, so we see each other outside of YouTube. And so I decided, and Steve decided he wanted to. Whenever Steve's interested, he's welcome to come on as a co-host. Couple reasons for that is that I like to give everybody a different perspective than mine because it's not always right. It's nice to have somebody else to help run the show different aspects of the hobby, different ways of doing the same thing, and yeah, just another very knowledgeable person on the show helps. So I hope everybody enjoys having Steve on here as much as I do.
Well, thanks very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So we got a few people in here. I see we have Mr. Bob Kaler. We have Rockford Fish Keeping. We have Dragon Lair. And there may be more. So we didn't know if anybody was even going to show up tonight. But we are going to do a live feeding, go through just some stuff. We haven't been on in a while. I haven't been on in a while. You haven't been on in a while. So we'll just catch up and try and make a bit of a show out of this. So what do you got going on new, Steve? Anything?
Yeah, a few surprises last week. I had a tank below a seal, so I came down to a nice mess on the floor. Let me see if I can turn this around.
I think you almost had it. There you go.
There we go. So I had a 35 there. It blew the bottom seal out, so I took it down and replaced it with a couple of 20s, one sideways and one straight on. So started separating out all my guppy babies into males and females.
Yeah, they're getting bigger.
Yeah, that's a tank of the females there. Looking pretty happy.
Yeah, the camera is not doing them justice.
Yeah, they're just starting. The females are just barely getting some little blue marks on them. These ones are the more interesting ones. Those are the males.
Oh wow, look at that one. The one that just darted to the back behind your heater. That one looks fantastic, Steve.
Yeah, they're starting to color up pretty nicely. So, got a couple that are coming out blue and a couple that are coming out with this orange, which is interesting because neither of the parents have orange.
What was the crossing on this one?
So these are the parents, the blue females and the metallic males.
Okay, so the black metallics you got from me.
Yeah.
Crossed with those blues. Wow. That looks like that just might turn out on some if you can get them to all go true.
Yeah, so that's the goal. We'll take the best blues and the best males and females and see what I can get.
Yeah, most definitely.
So the tank that was there, I ended up moving the convicts up here to my green water tank. I'll show this off nicely.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful if it was a Daphnia farm.
Yeah. The green water was in the tank next to it, and it jumped over to this one somehow.
It's amazing how that happens, eh? Or how it just affects one tank and not another.
This one's now clear. So this one was the green water tank, but now it's just moved over here.
So what are you going to do to clear that up, if anything?
Probably nothing. The green water doesn't really bother the fish. It just looks nasty.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Doesn't look the greatest, but I guess it depends on how bad it gets. If it gets really, really bad and then it all dies off really, really fast, it'll jack your ammonia.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, this one here was green water for close to a year before it cleared up.
Oh wow.
And I actually put a couple of pieces of that poly stuff underneath the light just to cut the light down a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's when it started clearing up. So I'm
I
actually
had to
gonna
do that on a tank as well, Steve. And same thing, I put an extra diffuser on
yeah,
top of the tank.
right.
Yeah.
So I think I might keep the green water and see if I can raise some Daphnia for a while. Just use it as a feed for the Daphnia.
You know, that just might work. If you ran, oh, I guess you don't. Oh, Gizmo's doing a visit behind me. She's photobombing me. If you ran like a 50 micron, 40 or 50 micron sieve through that, I bet you it would pick it up out of the water.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
A
I've never
lot of
tried.
it, like if you were able to do that to get the water for the Daphnia.
I was just going to use it as water change water.
Oh, yeah, that works too, eh?
So the baby, the tank was filled with baby convicts at the time it broke. So now they're all in this little breeder box.
Looks like you rescued a lot of them.
I think I got them all.
Yeah.
I pushed all the gravel aside and let it settle out, and went in with a big net and scooped them out.
So, Bob, there's a little bit of stuff new with the clowns, and I'm gonna get to it. I promise you. I'm just not quite there yet, so you're gonna have to hang around. All right. Well, Steve, I'm gonna show just before we get going with feeding, even though people will still see feeding happening here. So what I've done here is I had a 55-gallon tank there, and you can all see me in the background. And what I needed that 55-gallon tank for a sump for this new stand that I'm going to build for a clownfish rearing rack, we'll call it, breeding system, whatever you want to call it, but it's going to be patented to that. So I had this 65-gallon tall that didn't fit there, so I just did a swap out, and it looks nice. It looks like it's everybody's doing okay that I switched over. You can see the short fin ancestress John away at some zucchini, but as Steve already mentioned, eh, Steve, the rainbows look so big in there now when you cut a foot off the length of the tank, eh?
Right. Yeah, they look fantastic too.
I've had those rainbows for a couple years now, and yeah, they are. I got them from Fanatics. I got them from Mike down at Fanatics, and they were just they were young. They were like a quarter that size.
Right.
And yeah, they've bloomed out nice. So I actually have often debated about selling them in the last bit. I've actually advertised them a couple of times, but nobody's been willing to pay for them. So if nobody's willing to pay for them, I'll just keep them because they're beautiful.
Yeah, they look fantastic.
So this will be the first tank I feed, I guess, when we start feeding fish. Just because my camera's already set up there, so it's nice and easy.
I got one-handed to use, so because I gotta hold my phone with the other one.
Ah, yeah, I'm cheating. I'm definitely cheating. I got some cool stuff in this week. I guess this will be part of how the clownfish are doing, Bob. I guess I'll get into that. And Steve, if you want to let people know how your babies are doing, by all means. But I needed to kind of reset on the trying to raise the baby clownfish. I was struggling with the larvae. I've had huge losses with larvae. I've been very unsuccessful lately with it. So I got pissed off. and I decided either I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this. So I decided I'll get the right stuff again, start off fresh, get the right stuff, and do this as proper as I possibly can from the get-go. So that's what I did. I made an order to Reed Mariculture, and I got myself a 32-ounce jug of RG Complete. Now, people might think, like, what the hell? Why? It's not that. This, I think, is one of the most important, and I'm not an expert at this, raising baby clownfish, but I think that product there is the most important aspect to getting clownfish from hatching to larvae to through metamorphosis. Bottom line, keeps your rotifers in tip-top shape. It has an ammonia blocker in it that helps while you're tinting the water for the larvae. It helps keep the ammonia down as well, which has been a serious issue for me. So I got that. I got more rotifers, and they're doing fantastic. And I also got, and you might be interested in some of this, Steve, I got TDO, Chroma Boost.
Yeah.
The TDO, this is supposed to be the very best food you can get for clownfish, bar none. There's apparently no other better food, and it's been unavailable in Canada. I don't know how I got it. I didn't do anything illegal to get it. I just ordered it from Reed Mariculture. So I ordered the breeder starter pack, and it comes with the TDO large, which is for pellet? Yeah, it is. It's a pellet, and it's got, oops, sorry, camera's this way. It's got a neat little pour spout right there, and you can just pour them out. Right. Now it's not only, it's a pellet, but it still needs to be refrigerated as well. So keep that in mind.
That's why it's a soft pellet?
No, it's hard, but I guess just the ingredients are fresh ingredients, and that's cool. I guess it'll stay better longer. I guess essentially what I read right here, it says right on it, it says store refrigerated at 41 Fahrenheit, 5 degrees Celsius or below for longest shelf life. Okay. So I guess it just lasts longer. Probably loses some of its value if you don't.
Yeah, I know with the other foods, the vitamins and stuff break down over time, right?
Yeah, so maybe this prevents that. Or slows it down at the very least. So what they do is they send you a whole bunch of different ones. So we got the large, this way. The large, it's for fish 2 inches and up. I feed it to my adults up in the 65-gallon upstairs. Everybody eats it, except for the puffer fish. He won't touch it. Won't ever touch it.
So they adjusted to it pretty quickly then.
Oh yeah, nailed it. We'll watch babies eat it tonight. So yeah, and then you got medium for fish up to 2 inches, and I actually find the medium is like the perfect size for my tank upstairs. The large, I think, is actually a little bit too big for my liking, anyways. But it's the opposite as we get down into the smaller sizes, Steve, which is what's really weird. So, okay, this is what I've been feeding the little guys downstairs here. This one is called TDO Chroma Boost B1, and it's for fish 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Okay, now I feed this to 1/4 inch clownfish.
Wow.
And it's perfect size for them. So there's a TDO Chroma B1, and there's also a B2. And from what I see, the B2 is just it's bigger. It's bigger than the B1, but it's very close. I don't know why they have to get all complicated with this, to be honest, but they do. But anyways, so I've been feeding the B1 to the little guys, and then I've actually been feeding the TDO Chroma Boost extra small, and it says for fish 3/4 inch to an inch, but I think mine are 3/4 of an inch now, and I've been feeding that to them. Gizmo's photobombing the heck out of me back there. And yeah, so they also have that. They have small for fish 1 inch to 2 inches right here. And TDO Chroma Boost A, and this is for your newborn, like 3 days old larvae. Start them on this. So
Wow.
yeah, that's it. This is what you get in
Like
the starter pack, which is
super fine powder, I guess.
yeah, pretty much, eh? It's very, it tells you the size here. I honestly don't know like what the size means, but yeah, it is. I haven't opened it yet, but I can feel it's just a powder. So yeah, some of the ingredients in it, it's krill meal, fish meal, squid meal, and then we're getting into stuff I can't pronounce very good. Yeah, pretty nasty. I'll just put up the screen and you guys can pronounce some of those yourself. But I don't know. The one thing I do like about it is the fish seem to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to love it. What else did I? Yeah, it would taste pretty gross with all that squid and everything, but it seems to be just very high in oil. A lot of oil, eh? Oily fish in it too.
Lots of fatty acids and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking for something else. The one thing I don't see in it is brewer's yeast. And I would have thought that I would have saw brewer's yeast in it. Now I can tell you the TDO Chroma Boost A is different ingredients. A couple extra things in it.
Huh.
There is licorice plant. Oh no, it's in this as well. Wheat germ as well. Apple extract, and it's not in this one.
That's interesting.
Yeah, makes you wonder what the
trying to think. Apples are high in vitamins and fiber, right?
Yeah, I guess like yeah, I don't know what vitamins apples have in them, but I guess yeah, they have just good vitamins like vitamin A, or are they just enriched, like when you drink apple juice, is it just enriched with vitamin A? I don't know, but I guess obviously there's something in the apple extract, because everybody swears by this for your babies. I've been successful without it, but hey, I'll take all the help I can get.
Right.
And fish oil is way down on the list for the Chroma Boost A. They are actually, yeah, very different. Not very different, but a little bit different. These will be the same, I believe.
It's almost like they've tailored them to development stages in the fish.
Yeah, that's why I'm just going to look here, see if I can see. Sorry if I'm boring the hell out of some people, but this is kind of interesting stuff now that we're looking at it. Okay, so yeah, it is, Steve, because when you go from that, so say you go to TDO Chroma Boost B1, it's very similar, but they do change some of it around. It's got apple extract in it, it's got licorice plant in it, and it's got brewer's yeast.
There you go.
I thought I seen brewer's yeast in the ingredients, but there's no brewer's yeast in the TDO Chroma Boost A. That's kind of weird, eh?
Yeah. So is the A like a larger size?
No, the A is the smallest. The A is the little wee one. Now, Dragon Lair's saying something here. yeah, I'm not smart enough for these words, Dragon Lair. You can't put these kinds of words up, man. Anthocyanins, maybe I'm close.
Sounds good.
In the skin of apples. So I guess I don't even know what anthocyanins are, but obviously something in it. And if
Got
you
me
seem
there.
to know,
I have
yeah.
no idea.
So this is the next size up right here. B1 is the next size up from the very smallest they have. And by the way, people, this whole pack cost like $60 American. Just saying. It wasn't that expensive. It was more expensive to get it here. So I don't know if I can get those in enough for you to see the difference, Steve. Shit, this is hard,
Yeah,
man.
not really.
No. But yeah, they are they're all different. They're all cool. And we're trying it out and we're gonna see how well they work. So
Good.
that's what's gonna happen with that. And a food we're gonna try tonight as well that I just picked up and I have not had yet. And I'm going to throw a little, it's not an endorsement really, but you know what? These guys treat me good, man. I get most of my food that I can get in Canada from Critters Cove. So like my good friend Jeff Mountjoy, he's like one of the top dudes at Northfin. Guess what? I don't get food through Jeff. I get food through going and buying it like everybody else. So the guys at Critters Cove, petsandponds.com, you can order there from anywhere. Yeah, they treat me really well there. So that's where I get most of my food. And we're going to try Northfin krill flakes tonight. So I bought me a great big bucket of it, 300, almost a pound. So it might last me a little while. Have you tried it yet, Steve?
So yeah, actually, I feed a lot of Northfin flake food, but I actually, well, I'll go show you my secret stash over here. Nice. I don't have enough room in my fish room, so I got to store things in other places.
Smells pretty krilly. Ooh,
yep.
Look at that. Those are some big flakes.
So I order from Aquarium direct, but it's the same stuff. So I got krill, kelp, and this one is I think the cichlid pellet, cichlid flake.
Oh, how do you like the kelp? Is it really green?
No, actually, it's kind of a browny green. So basically what I do is I mix the three together, and then I feed all three of them at the same time every day.
Okay.
So the fish get to pick and choose what they want, basically. So I just I have another bucket here, and I just throw them all together, and that's what they get.
Wow. You use a lot of flake food.
I have a lot of small fish, so the flake food is good for crushing up and feeding to all the babies, right?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start trying that a bit more because really, I always just use a pepper grinder, and I grind pellets. I've always just found.
Yeah,
I've always been a pellet person.
I do that too. I also use the Northfin Bug Pro.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I use that in a pepper grinder as well. So I mix them back and forth, and then I use some of this stuff, which is Encapsulated brine shrimp.
I thought so. That's what I was gonna say.
So I
gotta put the lid on this. I can't stand the smell anymore.
Here I go back to my secret stash room over here. So I order it by like a pound at a time. And then I just scoop out a little bit and put it in a little container so that I'm not having to open it. So
now I know you've been hatching a lot of brine shrimp lately.
I do, yeah, every day.
So
there's the little poppy.
I guess my question is, do you find your fish go after the decapsulated as actively as they do live brine?
Not as much, but what I do is I usually I start them off on just freshly hatched brine shrimp,
Okay.
and then after 3 or 4 days, I start mixing in the decapsulated at the same time.
Okay, so they get to
And
know
then,
that the taste is the same. It's just they
yeah,
don't have to
exactly.
chase it.
Yeah, and then after that, what I do is I feed the decapsulated in the morning because it's easier and quicker.
Yep.
And then decapsulate it again at lunch, and then fresh hatched in the evening when I have more time.
Oh, very good. I haven't been feeding much lately at all.
Then I mix in the crushed flakes, every other day kind of thing.
Huh. Very good. So yeah, I guess that would work, eh? If they already got the taste for it and already know what they're going for, really.
Yeah. Well, they love it. I mean, you put it in the tank and they go just as crazy for it once they know what it is.
Right, right. Now, have you heard much about people just using a mixture of diluted bleach to decapsulate their own brine shrimp, but then hatch them so that they have faster hatch times? Have you heard of this?
I've heard of people decapsulating their own brine shrimp eggs, but I've not heard that you can actually hatch them afterwards.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was possible.
I didn't either, and I still don't know if it's possible. I didn't know if you. I heard something about it. Somebody was talking about it on a forum, and it looked very interesting. And yeah, they were, and it was more than one person, and they were basically saying that they cut their hatch time down from 24 hours to like 9 hours.
Maybe they're partly decapsulated.
Yeah.
I think what the chlorine does is it starts dissolving the shell, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. So that's exactly what they're doing, because you only do it for a certain amount of time.
Right.
Very, very quick. And I forget exactly what it was, but I wasn't sure if you had tried it or not.
No, I don't trust myself with bleach and fish.
Yeah, bleach is a funny thing. It's can be so bad, but so good sometimes. Like I've used a lot of bleach on plants.
Yeah, I do that.
Just to try to kill any hitchhikers or anything. But again, it's a very fine line, right? You leave them in, that 10 seconds too long, and you're done. They melt.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've had that happen a few times. I don't know. I think the first few times I tried bleach dipping, I just mixed it too strong, and it just kills the plant in a half an hour.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're done. Now I know when I do my bleach dipping of plants, uh, about 30 seconds. That's it.
Yeah.
I do it for 30 seconds. I forget what I have it written down somewhere.
I've switched. Like I don't use a lot of bleach anymore. I just use the hydrogen peroxides and I just spray it down.
Yeah, it's a lot safer, eh?
Does the same thing, right?
Yeah, I did that for moss. I had Christmas moss that had a bunch of algae and shit in it. Yep. And yeah, I just used a spritzer bottle and just sprayed them with hydrogen peroxide, and then dipped them in fresh water a couple minutes later, and they were fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, Bob, I don't have it working right yet. I don't. So I appreciate, thank you for trying to put it up, but I don't. Yeah, I gotta spend some more time on that and getting that ready. I should make it totally inaccessible until I have it correct. But thank you.
What do you say?
Oh, I tried setting up like a merch shop on my YouTube
Oh yeah.
channel so people could buy stuff that's branded by our channel.
Cool.
And but I don't have it set up proper yet, so
See.
it's a work in progress.
Okay.
So Rico Stan says I should try the peroxide. I use bleach on the hornwort, and I get out of the he uses bleach on the hornwort that he gets out of the bay by him. Yeah, so and especially with hornwort that's very melty. It likes to melt with the bleach.
I don't
So
even need to use bleach for that.
yeah, it just doesn't like hard water, I found.
Every time I try hornwort, it just turns into a pile of needles at the bottom of my tank.
If I put hornwort in one of my shrimp tanks, it'll overtake it. But I put it in one of my hard water tanks. No good.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because everybody thinks of hornwort as being a beginner plant and almost indestructible, and yet I can't keep that stuff alive.
Right?
And then I turn around and I have
Locust blooming.
my tiger lotus this is the second flower that's just dried up, But
Oh, it's dead. Oh, that was so nice. Last time I
yeah,
was there, I saw it. It was about half bloom. You said when I was there.
it was just closing up when you were here.
Mm-hmm.
They only
Mm-hmm.
last 2 or 3 days, and then they're done.
Then they're done, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go and you get ready to feed a tank, Steve, because this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right.
So I am gonna go and give these rainbows and barbs a shot of this krill flake and see how they like it.
I'm actually going to refill my encapsulated brine shrimp container, and I'm going to use that.
All right. Yeah, they look like they're thoroughly enjoying it as you guys are looking at my shadow in the background, but
Yeah.
they're definitely not turning their noses up at it. My cat's going nuts back here. And yet the Ancestress are still going nuts on the zucchini. I haven't got a spawn yet since I moved the tank like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's coming. He's just got to pick his cave again.
Maybe that's how I can slow mine down a little bit.
Yeah, move tanks.
Just move them.
Just move all the caves around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or take his favorite cave out. It'll slow him down.
That's interesting.
He'll have to pick another one. Yeah, no, those rainbows are looking like they really enjoyed that flake.
Looks like it's gone already.
Yeah, I thought I put a fair chunk in there, but possibly not even enough. Raheim, I am just a hobbyist, but I am definitely not a wholesaler. I sell a few plants and whatnot here and there, but pretty much just a hobbyist. I really don't have. Well, yeah, you'll see in a minute. I got lots of plants. My shrimp tanks are exploding.
Yeah, you got some really nice shrimp.
What are you gonna feed there, Steve?
So I went and refilled my decapsulated brine shrimp while you were doing that.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna feed these little baby angels in here.
I'll see if I can give you the full screen. Nope. I just kicked you out.
Oops.
There you go.
So they like it.
Yeah, they do.
It floats for a while, so it takes a while for all of it to sink to the bottom, so they get lots of time to chow down on it.
That one that's staying low, he's got a pretty red dorsal fin.
Yeah, there's a few nice ones in this tank here. Like this black one here.
Yep, that's the one I was talking about.
So he might have to stay.
You might have to try him out, eh?
He may have to stay for a while and see how he colors up as he gets bigger.
Well, that's good because you were talking about kind of getting away from the angelfish a little bit. So it's good you're staying in it. There's not a lot of guys with your experience with angels.
Yeah, I've always liked angels, and I don't know. I got bored with them for a little while, but they just keep my interest going. So I just decided, I'm going to keep them.
Yeah. Well, you got a knack with them. You seem to have a knack for getting kind of the best colors out of them, right? So you should keep going.
This pair that I'm spawning right now is not pure though for some reason.
Oh no?
So you'll see this is all from the one spawn, right? And there's silvers and marbles in there.
Yeah.
Both parents are marbles, so kind of interesting.
So they got a little bit of anything in them, right?
Yeah, so it's interesting because these are the parents.
Calico.
Like there's no sign of silver in them whatsoever.
Yeah, or red or anything. Oh, sorry, Steve.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, so I don't know where the commons are coming from because even like this is another batch of them that I have here, and I'm getting some silvers in this one too.
Yeah, you are. Well, that's good. You know what? Unless you're like a major breeder who's breeding thousands and thousands of fish and you're sending them off to all over the world, why not? It's kind of nice breeding a fish where you're getting a bit of a variety when you don't know what you're going to get, right? Instead of, I don't know, kind of neat to have some variety for a small fish room.
Yep. These ones are doing well. These ones are pretty much ready to go, so I'm gonna be getting rid of these ones shortly.
Okay. How big are those now? It's hard to tell on the video.
They're about an inch body size.
Okay. So they're probably look more like 2-inch fish with their fins.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool, man. Well, you might as well feed them while we're here.
Yeah, I'll get some more. I gotta cheat because I only have one hand, so.
That's okay.
If I put this food on the floor, the dog's probably gonna try and eat it.
Yeah. I'm surprised my cat's not up there eating the food. Raheem, myself and Steve, we both live in Ontario, Canada. Dragonlair says there are two different Marbella genes in angels. One is simple recessive, one is dominant. So maybe that's why you're getting two different colors.
Yeah, it's quite possible. So there you'll see the encapsulated is starting to sink in this tank.
Okay.
It makes the water.
Can see that.
Can't see the cloudiness?
Yeah. looks like those guppies love life in there.
Yeah, those are all my oddballs. I just keep throwing them in this tank. This is the Dumbo ear endlers that I'm working on.
Mm,
These are the males that keep coming out the wrong way.
right.
So I'll show you what the right way is supposed to be.
I think you're being asked, Steve, if you've ever kept Ultim Angels.
That's what I want them to look like right there. That's a second generation one.
Okay. Yeah, that's got some pretty neat coloring on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Those are some fat females too.
Yeah, they keep going. So I'll give them some too because there's lots of babies in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, those are looking good.
I got one female in there that's got a darker body with a red tail starting to come along. So
Okay.
he's the only male in there right now with all of them.
Lucky fella. He's doing lots of work, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pregnant guppies. You're gonna need to speed your process up on the garage, I think, Steve.
Yeah, well, that's part of the reason I'm sticking with the Angels because I can make a lot of money with that, which will help with that effort.
Yeah. Do you want to tell people who might not know what you're kind of planning on doing?
Sure. I'm working on moving my fish room out to the garage so that I've got some more space.
Yeah, you're pretty crammed up right now.
Yeah, so I've got just over 500 gallons in this room, and moving out to the garage is going to allow me to increase that 200 to 300 gallons. So it's almost just over 50% increase in size. So that's
That's a lot.
that's going to be an interesting effort though, because I gotta build the room and insulate and run electrical and heating and cooling and plumbing and all that kind of stuff. So
And you're just going to heat the room, right?
yeah, I think so. When I get out there, I'm just going to set the thermostat to 28 or so, and it's a small enough space that I can do that.
Yeah, you should be able to. It'll be interesting to see like how hard they have to work on, say, our minus 20 Celsius days.
Yeah, well,
That'll be your test.
It'll be interesting because I insulated the garage, and then I'm going to build a room inside the garage and insulate that as well. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it'll depend. It actually shouldn't be bad because even when it's minus 20 out, it's not minus 20 in your garage, even when it's not heated, right? And you'll have double the wind chill. Yeah, you should be fine. And on really, really cold days, maybe you just throw a propane heater in the garage going for a little bit or something. Heat it up.
Yeah, so first winter will be an interesting exercise.
Looks like your guppy grass is staying alive.
Actually, you know what? I think part of the problem was I didn't have enough fish in the tank initially because it melted back to like 2 or 3 leaves that I had. And now that I got all these babies and stuff swimming around in here, both the guppy grass and the moss has started taking off. Like,
oh, good.
The moss is going crazy.
Yeah, and that moss grows like so easy. So easy. Not much light. I'm amazed at how many babies. So these were my fish originally.
Yep.
And I kept the males separated from the females, and look at the success Steve's having. Yeah, they look good, Steve.
Yeah, they're starting to look pretty good. It's interesting. There's a couple of fish in here that males that are just starting to get color, and I think I might have a combination going on. because
Okay.
one of them has started to get the silver lines like a metallic,
Right.
but his pectoral fins are clear. And then I have some other ones that are getting more of a black body, and their pectoral fins are black.
Ah.
So I'm
So
not
there
sure.
might be a
I'm not
little
sure if it's just
something.
different stage of development or what. So we'll keep an eye on that as they mature.
Yeah, because you had that one male that came up way later than the rest. But look, people, you want to see what a good dorsal fin looks like? You look at that male right there. He's damn near got it. Right to the end of his tail. And that's what I was going for with these guppies. That's what I was hoping for. Yeah. Yeah, you got it right to the end of the tail, Steve. Keep him in there. You want
Yeah.
you want those genes spread on.
Yeah. So he's the only male in there with the adult females.
Yeah.
The babies are getting to the point where I'm gonna have to take them out, otherwise they're gonna start cross pollinating.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much at this point, any that you can tell are male, probably take them out.
Yeah.
Now, they won't have much of a chance. He'll protect his females too. Like he won't just let males get in there
It's
freely.
actually kind of funny because he used to be chasing the females around nonstop, all day, every day, and now I think he's losing them in the crowd.
Maybe he's tired, Steve.
Well, yeah, he could be
Look at the
tired,
work
but
he's done. Look at the work he's done. Let the guy have a cigarette.
I think he's losing sight of them because there's so many other fish moving around.
Yeah, and the other key to your success in there is the fact that you have all that guppy grass. So if any, obviously they don't go after their babies too much, but with that guppy grass, definitely helps if the babies, maybe it's some of the weaker ones that are born or whatever, need a spot to chill out and hide for a minute. They can get that,
Yeah.
eh?
Well, that's something that's interesting. Is I've always thought guppies were pretty cannibalistic and would just chew down on any baby that they find. But both these ones and the other ones that I have up top, the blue ones, they don't even bother with the babies.
Hmm.
Like I could take everything in here out and I would still have babies.
Well, that's very, very good. That maybe they've been inbred too much.
I don't know, maybe. But like this, all this guppy grass and stuff was not in here when the babies started coming. Like it all melted back to like 2 or 3 leaves on the end of a couple of stems, and that was all I had.
Huh. Yeah, no, those are doing great, Steve. You're being asked if you're just a hobbyist as well.
Yeah, I'm just a hobbyist. I've had fish for most of my life, and they just relax me, and I have fun with them. I do sell them. I've never shipped fish. I just sell locally. But
Yeah, it's shipping fish in Canada is it's a tough go. It's a tough go. You you can only do it so many months of the year, and our postal service is less than dependable lately.
yeah, I'm gonna
So
give some of this decapsulated to the rest of the babies over here.
just sprinkle her in.
Yeah, I just let it sink by itself.
So I'm gonna throw in a sec here. I'm gonna throw my 180 gallon on, Steve. I have the camera set up on it,
Oh yeah,
and we'll see how it how. So what I have in this tank is I have a lot of longfin ancestors. Actually, really male heavy. I have to get some males out of there, and I have my I'm terrible. Parasip nipigrinus. I believe that's the proper pronunciation. In this tank as well, and I think they're going to love this krill flake. There it is. Yeah, that's not bad.
That looks good.
So I'm blocking the view. I'll crush it up a bit for them. There you go. It looks like they don't mind it either, eh?
Yeah. You always stick your hand in the tank like that?
I do. I don't just let it float on top. I always swish it.
Yeah?
Yep. I do. You don't?
No, I've never done that.
No? Nicole hates it because she'll be feeding the fish and I'll watch her and she won't be swishing. And I'll say, swish, swish, swish. Because, yeah, I just find it gets down to them. I think that maybe some of the nutritional value gets soaked out of it if it sits on top too long. So I'd rather swish it, get it right down to them right away. And when I do that as well, the ancestors get a chance at some too. Maybe that's why that habit started.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, they seem to be enjoying it.
Yeah,
but you see all... Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
No, it's just cutting out a little bit there.
Are you cutting out?
Yeah, it was cutting out a little bit.
All right, well, let's go back to here. Is that better?
Yeah.
Which fish are you talking about for common names, Raheem? If you're talking about ancestress, that would be bristlenose pleco, parasip nipigrinus. There's really no common name for them. There's not a lot of different types of parasips, so I guess you could just call them parasips. But there's not really a common name for them. So this tank you're showing us right now, Steve, is that the 75 gallon?
No, this 55 that's next to it.
Okay. And you just a pair of angels, or?
Yeah, they're a breeding pair. Don't pay any attention to my sword plant. It's kind of dirty.
Yeah, that's gone for a shit.
Well,
there they are. I thought they were in there.
It's these guys. They make a massive mess. So
yes, they do.
I think I'm just gonna take the sword plants out because they're not really doing much.
Okay.
But I still haven't made any progress on this. I did get peat moss to start filtering the water through peat.
Did you? What's your current parameters on that tank? You know what? While you're telling me that, I'm gonna set my camera up on my L128 tank.
So this is basically just tap water at the moment. So it's like 8.2 pH and.
Oh yeah, they won't be happy with that.
300 GDS or so. So yeah, I did get peat moss so that I can start filtering it down, get them more back to normal kinds of parameters. And there's the other two there.
I'm back. Oh, they're looking good there. Yeah, I think yours are a lot bigger than mine, Steve.
Yeah, they're about 6 inches.
So there's my tank. Mine are hiding right now. Oh, you could see them messing around a little bit there.
They always come out when I leave the front of the tank, and then they go back in when I come
out. Okay. Yeah, they do have a shyness to them, eh?
They're getting a little braver, but not much. So
anybody who doesn't know what these are L128 Blue Phantoms. And yeah, So Steve's got some, I got some. I can see one of mine there in my tank. My tank's got a tint to it. I got a lot of wood in that tank. A lot of wood. I'm trying to keep my pH down. I'm doing almost 100% RO water changes with mine, Steve.
Yeah, so that's where I'm going to be heading with this. I'm going to be turning it into a riverscape with some larger caves, and so I got the power head down at the bottom, blowing along the bottom like a river.
Okay. I just did the same thing. I got 2 little power heads blowing one way on mine to try and get a little more flow going.
Exactly, yeah. And they do love it. Like if I'm away from the tank and I'm watching them, they're out swimming around in it, and they're quite active when I'm not around, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I would have thought they would have been a little bit more out with your ditherfish in there with the angels. Because, and I think it depends what kind of fish you have in there to how much different fish come out. Because in my tank there, I have 3 L128s, 1 L106, and I have 3 Fisher woodcats, which are getting freaking huge.
Right.
But they all exist very well together. When I had a pair of Geophagus in with them, they did not. They never came out because the geos just for some reason they just couldn't handle it. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So
well,
I guess
the geos are also bottom dwellers as well, right? So maybe they're interfering with them.
Yeah, possibly. So what are you going to do with the peat moss? Are you going to basically?
I got a box filter.
Okay. So it's going right in a box filter, right in the tank.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I don't want to change it too quickly because that'll just shock them. But I'm just gonna keep increasing the amount I put in the box filter until I get to the right parameters, and then we'll go from there.
I'm gonna question that theory on shocking them, and I'm gonna question it just because of what I've been told by other people, like what happens in the wild. So in the wild, in the Amazon River, when it becomes rainy season, it like shit floods everywhere. The water, it's pure rainwater, makes up 90% of the water in the river. Right. And their TDS goes down to 0.
Yep.
Like, so I guess what I'm saying is they get rain really, really fast like that, and it happens very, very quickly. Like overnight, little creeks can swell up to be, 30, 40 feet wide. I don't know if you could shock them, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's the hardness of the water that's the problem. I think it's the pH. Because especially with peat moss, you can make the water so acidic that it starts burning them, right?
Yeah, I guess. What number do you think? Like, where do you think that number happens, where it's adversely affects them?
Well, you definitely don't want to go below 5. From what I've found so far in researching, they're usually around 6.
6, yeah. 6 with a low TDS.
With a low TDS, yeah, and that's dangerous in an aquarium setting because with no buffer there, you can crash the pH really easily.
You can. So I just got to answer a question real quick, Steve. So we've been asked, do we use RO or RODI water for breeding L28 Plecos? I use it because, and Steve's going to probably start using it too, is just because our water is so hard where we live. We both have tap water with a pH of over 8. And that's really not suitable for these fish to begin with. And yes, if you want to attempt to breed them, which I have not been successful with, I actually do not know anybody personally that's been successful with it. it's gonna, yeah, this is the experiment. See if we can drop the pH quite a bit to try and enhance some breeding. And I think what I'm gonna try as well, Steve, is I'm gonna try a drastic temperature drop,
Yeah.
and with a water change when I do that as well.
Yep. Yeah,
So
that's easy enough to do. I don't have a heater in my RO bucket, so the water sits at about 60 degrees.
yeah, mine 66. Mine sits at, and so yeah, that'll. I don't know. Got to try different things to see how to do
Yeah.
it. The only success I've ever heard of comes from Holland, and I don't know
Right.
what to do special there, what their gig is, but apparently they can breed L128s.
So I haven't had these very long, so I'm still just kind of in the research phase. I just found them online and jumped at the opportunity to grab them. So now I got to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, well, I guess just keeping them alive first, and then getting them comfortable.
Well,
I'm gonna guess they're very similar to like L46s in the fact that they pretty much need to be undisturbed for like a year before you can
yeah,
even think about spawning them,
yeah, probably. I
or else
mean,
people would be doing it.
right. I've had them for almost a month now, I guess. Um, None of them have died, so that's a good sign.
No, that's a really good sign, actually. Yeah.
I know they do not like zucchini.
No,
No,
mine do.
I put a slice of zucchini in there and it just goes fuzzy. They
Oh, really?
they don't even try to touch it.
Huh.
But they seem to be liking the beans.
That's good. You can give them a
And
bit more protein too, eh?
yeah, I gave them last night. I gave them my Fishroom.
Okay. Yeah, they'd like that. Yeah, they'll take any meaty foods too. Um, One thing they do like, actually, I'll flip the camera back to me for a sec here, is this food here. I think you use it too, Steve. Where are we? Bug bites.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, the Plecos.
I don't have the Plecos formula, but I do have the Bug Bites and Bug Pro that I drop in there.
Yeah, this is the Fluval Bug Bites, and it's yeah, mine really seem to like it. So
I wonder if that's because it's got algae wafer stuff in it as well.
yeah, what's it got? It's got, well, it's black soldier fly larvae, salmon, wheat, green peas actually,
Ah, there you go.
potato, dicalcium phosphate, alfalfa nutrient concentrate, so grass concentrated essentially, horse hay,
Yeah.
calcium carbonate, uh, some chlorides and different stuff that they probably shouldn't have in there.
Yeah.
Vitamin E, biotin, niacin, calcium, yeah, all kinds of stuff. Marigold extract.
Marigold extract. That's a weird one.
Yeah. Your beta carotenes, rosemary extract. That's kind of a different one too. Folic acid. Yeah.
This is my empty tank.
Yeah, it wasn't empty before.
It actually isn't empty.
No, it's got a bunch of plecos in it, doesn't it?
They're all hiding yet. So bear with me with my one-handed feeding here, but
no worries. While you're getting set up there, I'm going to move my camera to my next feeding. And they're already feeding.
well, I got some stuff to use up here, so I'm just gonna dump it in.
Oh yeah,
Gotta love the green beans.
look at those little fellas. These are my grandbabies.
Yeah. Give them a minute or two and they'll start swarming this stuff.
Mine, I fed mine too early. I fed them just before the stream. I put zucchini in. They've already gotten their fill and are gone. But these are my future breeder, longfin ancestress here. They've
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I
they're
like
coming
those.
along. They're coming along. Very, very nice.
Yeah,
Very,
they
very
look
nice.
they look amazing. Those ones, I love that.
Couple have a little bit split tails on them, but nothing too drastic, and they'll heal up. There they go. I got a shit camera angle on it. It's like right in dirt. I'll try and fix it a bit.
No, they look fantastic.
Is that a little better, maybe?
You got to go back a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Well, I can go full screen too. That'll probably work better. I'll cut you out of full screen for a minute.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, that's them. And there's some Amano shrimp in there as well. And there's some cherry shrimp in there as well. Those are my calls I took out of my tank. I didn't want them in my tank.
Look at the size of the fins on that thing.
Yeah, he's turning out. Like I said, the split fins, but that's because he's fighting everybody.
Right.
He's just a bit of a prick. But yeah, I hope that fin heals up nice, and it should. But yeah, he's getting pretty impressive. That's only like a 9-month-old fish.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So hopefully they start spawning. But it's a pretty neat little tank, really. That's only a 20-gallon tank.
That's awesome.
And I'm not sure how many Plecos I got in there. There's too many.
I like the long flowy fins with the white tips. That's so amazing.
Yeah, no, they're looking good, and I'm hoping their babies look even better. That's the idea of that. But they're coming along. They're coming along the way I like them. Another thing to look at is their front pectoral fins.
Yeah.
No, there's no real bad kinks or anything in them. That one's got a bit of a bow to it in a wave, the one down closest to us, but really I'm okay with that. It's right. When you see him, just kick him right off with his fins. And his are perfectly straight.
Yeah, they look great.
His are damn near as straight as you can get. So that was something I was aiming for with these as well. So yeah, well, I'm gonna separate actually and try and get 2 tanks in them, because something else I've always noticed with ancestress, long fin, short fin, green, blue, purple, brown, I don't care what color, they if you have more than one male in a tank, chances are only one male is going to breed at a time. Sometimes you'll get 2 males to breed, but even in my 180, I get 1 male to breed at a time.
Yeah, I was talking about that with you the other day. The same thing happens here for me.
Mm-hmm.
I got that tank with there's 3 males in there and only one of them's breeding.
Yeah, they're very territorial, right? So that's what'll happen. And you'll also notice the males that are less dominant in the tank will generally have smaller bristles.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
It's kind of like frontosis. The one dominant male will get the great big huge hump on its head. The others will try to stay looking as much like females as they can,
right?
So they don't get beat up. So I think it's the same thing with these guys. But anyways, that's those guys. I see you got some. I recognize those little fellas too.
Yeah, they like the beans too, apparently.
Apparently they do. They like the krill. You want to see those reds pop? Hit the krill to them.
Yeah, they like the krill flakes for sure. But I had these green beans I had to use up, so. my
Well,
little L144 blue eye.
now that is, if you talk to some ancestress aficionados, they will tell you that that's the only true ancestress. The only true L144, sorry.
Yeah, I got them as just little tiny babies. Somebody was getting rid of them, so I said,
Yeah,
I'll throw them in a tank. Why not?
and they're just gonna stay a short fin, I see.
Yeah, they're short fins. Yeah.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, they're looking good.
And then
They'll
I got this guy over here too.
oh, he's got a nice what's that red? That's a weird crown, right? Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really weird spot to have a cluster of horns like that, and that's quite an impressive cluster. Not usually that high in the head.
The guy was looking to get rid of it, so I said I'll give it a home. It's kind of
Yeah.
interesting to look at. Kind of weird.
Huh. Yeah, he's definitely different. Maybe I should borrow him for a week. I'll shoot some new blood in here.
Yeah, sure. Let's go back over here and see how they're liking the beans.
So those barbs, Bob, those are some of the baby barbs I had. I wasn't sure if you knew that or not, but yeah, I sent them off to Steve because I knew they'd have a good home.
Yeah,
And these would be my grandbabies again.
I had them in a 30 gallon and they were getting too big, so I moved them to a 55. Give them lots of room to grow up.
Yeah, those guys are doing good. Nice full bellies.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well. Still got the one albino in there somewhere.
Here, we'll do a comparison. I'll move my camera over to my short, well, everything fin grow out tank. Give me 1 sec, Steve. You can keep talking.
You had spawns just about the same time I did, so
I got them from all over the place.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good. Oh, here's the albino one over here. Not really albino, but interesting color anyway. Out of 100 babies, there's only one like that.
There, we'll see how this looks. Here's my grow tank of Ancestress on some zucchini.
Look at them go.
Oh, they love it.
That's awesome.
They love it. So there's green dragons in there, short fin browns. There's some long fins in there.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of everything in that tank. Couple of sponge filters.
So I started freezing my zucchini. Just so that, because I don't have enough plecos to feed a whole zucchini before it goes bad, eh?
Really?
That problem is going to go away shortly because they don't stop breeding, but at the moment I still end up throwing a bit of zucchini away because I flip back and forth between the beans and the zucchini and the pellets. And so I started freezing it and they seem to like it just the same. So
it would probably be maybe even a little more palatable for the little guys.
Yeah, it's a little softer when it thaws, right? So
yeah,
I slice it up and then freeze it.
This summer I had a very fruitful garden in the backyard of zucchini. I grew a lot this summer, and other than that, I get it at Costco. I buy the big bags of it. I go through that much of it. Like tonight, just feeding tonight.
Yeah.
I went through 2 zucchinis.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No, I go through about a half of one when I do feed it.
Yeah, they're looking good, Steve. You got a few generations in there now.
This is the male that's breeding. He's actually for a change out of the cave because there's no eggs in there at the moment.
He's starting to get some alright horns on him.
Are definitely bigger than these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, he's starting to get some horns. He's young too.
I think I might move a pair out to a different tank and see if I can get another pair spawning. But I don't want to move the female that's actually spawning with this one. So.
Well, do you even know what it may be? Multiple females, Steve.
It could be, yeah. There's an equal number of males and females in this tank, so I got to do something.
I find the best number if you're going for numbers of fry, you're probably best with like 4 females to 1 male.
Yeah, so I can move the 3 males out. There's a nice female there.
Yeah, she's plump. Yeah, she's definitely plump. But that's what I found is the best ratio. 4 females to 1 male, and you'll sometimes get 2 or 3 females spawn in at the same time.
Right.
Like within a couple of days, you'll find some hatch before others, and that's because most of the time you've had more than 1 female spawn in there.
I was thinking I was going to try and get this lighter colored female out and pair her up with this lighter colored male and see if I can get some lighter colored ones.
Possibly.
Because she's not really dark like the normal ones. It's more of a calico kind of brown.
Yeah, that's probably how they come up with the calico.
And then I've got, out of all those babies that the first spawnings that I had, I got this one that to me is, I don't know, it's not exactly an albino. It's just kind of a really light goldy brown color.
Got a big old belly on it, that's for sure.
Yeah. I love those beans.
Yeah. I might try spawning 2 albino green dragons together and see what comes out of it.
That would be interesting.
Probably just green dragons and albino green dragons would be my guess. But because you realize green dragons were originally spawned from albinos. That's what they came from, was albinos.
That's interesting.
How? I don't know, but they did. Huh. Are you going to your clownfish?
Yeah, thought I might come up here.
All right, well, I'm going to move my camera while you're doing that over to mine then.
They're all doing quite well now. I think they've hit the 1-inch mark. My lonely one up there, he keeps getting bothered by the rest of them.
All right. Those are looking good, Steve.
Yeah, I was just saying that I think they've hit the 1-inch mark.
Have they?
Pretty sure. There's 2 fingers.
Huh. I think I got my camera all screwed up because I unplugged it by accident. I have to remove myself for a second. Oh, no, I still don't have my camera back. Oh, there we go. I got it.
Yeah.
My guys are really hungry.
I bet.
They're just waiting to eat.
So you
Yeah,
remember
yours
that?
are looking.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
Yeah.
They're bickering quite a bit right now. There's
They're getting
one,
to that age.
the one up there in the corner again.
That one's got a lot of black on him, eh?
Yeah. That's the one that keeps getting picked on that I showed you the other day. Keeps getting chased away from the rest of the group.
He's got some pretty neat colors on him.
These two actually are hanging out together a lot down in this little cave here.
He's got some puffy gills on him, though.
Yeah.
I have quite a few of puffy gills as well. And I don't know if it's going to go away.
As far as I've read so far, that won't go away.
No, probably not. So we'll see how bad it affects them. But I do have a few of puffy gills, and I don't know if that's because I let their ammonia get too high when they were young, or what it is.
That's kind of what I've read so far. Is it seems environmental during the metamorphosis step.
Yeah, I probably did let a couple get out of hand. Okay, I'm gonna feed mine while I have them up here. Are you feeding yours?
Yeah, I gotta put this phone down though to do that.
We'll see if I got the screen right here.
I'm still using a pepper grinder for these guys up here, so. And as soon as I throw food in the tank, then that one comes out of the corner to eat. So I know there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, not quite. Yeah, I got a few of them in the picture anyways. But that's the what size was that? That was the TDO Chroma Boost extra small.
Okay. I'm using that.
Yep, I give that to mine too. I give it to the mixed that, the North Fin krill pellet.
Yeah.
And New Life Spectrum marine formula as well, and some Fluval Bug Bites.
Right.
That's what I put in mine.
So you see my little sponge filters there. Threw them in there.
Seeding them up.
Get them cycled just in case I have to move this one that keeps getting bugged. But so far, so it'll spend part of the day hiding, and then the other part of the day it's out in the middle, and there's a different one that's hiding. So the aggression is kind of going around the group. So
yeah, they're getting things figured out.
Yeah. So
I guess
so far I'm just gonna keep them together as long as I can.
I'm gonna start actually separating some on purpose of mine as soon as I got this rack built. Because I do actually want to pair some off.
Yeah.
So I want to choose the pairs. I don't want them to choose.
Right.
So that's kind of why I want them to do that. So.
Right.
But yeah, they're coming along. What's that? A little hermit crab?
Yeah. It's an orange with black bands.
I seen a hermit crab in my tank upstairs running across a rock with an old ram's horn snail shell on him. One that I must have fed to Paul and Paul the pufferfish, and he just probably ripped the snail right out of the shell. Didn't even crunch the shell, and the hermit crab was running around with the ram's horn snail on it.
That's hilarious. I picked this up the other day.
That's a neat looking one. Is that a Zoa? Is that what that's called?
I think so.
Was it that big or is it grown?
It's kind of hard to tell because when I got it, it was kind of shriveled up,
Right.
and so it's gotten bigger. I think just from getting comfortable in the tank.
Oh, okay.
And I think that there's a little one there that's kind of fallen down.
Okay.
So I'm kind of hoping that one is actually come off of the little plug and is attached to the rock now.
Yeah, it might be. They don't attach well though. Like they don't just attach.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. I've had some fall. I have a big problem in my marine tank right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, apparently I got other than the Epistia I have and everything else and the bubble algae and every other pest and problem you think you could have in a marine tank, right. I now have white worms as well.
White worms?
Yes. Or flatworms, sorry, they're called. Flatworms.
Kind of like the planaria?
Yeah, but they're all over my corals. They're all over everything. So, go ahead.
When I turn the lights out on this thing, if I shine a light in there, it's literally crawling with tens of thousands of amphipods.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's what keeps your water nice, man. That's filtering your water.
Well, this I think was probably the best investment that I did.
Yeah, decent protein skimmer.
You would think it's
pulls a lot of crap out, eh?
It was $80 though. It was fairly
cheap one.
It was fairly cheap for a protein skimmer, but yeah. It's
sucking stuff out. It's working.
It's cleaned this tank out threefold.
That's the one thing this tank you're looking at doesn't have is a protein skimmer.
Right.
Does not have one.
But you don't have corals or anything in that one either, right?
It's
just a grow out, right?
Yeah, it's just a piece of live rock in there. That's all I have. There's a sponge filter, a hang on back, and I have a basket in there with some smaller clownfish babies in it. They're doing well in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all that is a grow out tank. And I'll probably retire it when I get the rack set up. Because I don't even like the tank. It's hard to see in. It's terrible.
That's one of the tanks. I got the second one cleaned up now.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'm getting ready. I got to build the sump. I'm ready to build the sump. So I'm looking at some different design ideas.
Yeah.
On what will work best. And there's a lot of opinions out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It's confusing, actually. There's a lot of opinions. So I think I'm just going to do it Jesse style and do it the way I want to do it.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes.
Usually works out. You took that other bulkhead with you last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did. Remember we pulled it off of.
Yeah, I remember we pulled it off. I just couldn't remember where it landed.
Oh, that pickup truck's gone. We sold the pickup truck. Sold Nicole's pickup truck.
Okay.
Yeah, finally. Sold it. Gone. I hate selling cars. Hate it. But it was easy. The guy who bought it was easy. And now she's driving a little SUV crossover thing.
Okay.
So that's what we picked up yesterday. So now we have to use the van to transport big tanks or anything dirty.
Right.
Yeah. So that's good. I can maybe come to Barrie more often now since we got a vehicle that's a little better on fuel and stuff too.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I've been busy doing. But yeah, that male, he's starting to get some good horns on him. They all are.
I think I'm a few baby angels less since I moved them in here.
Are you?
Because you see what they're doing?
I don't. No.
You see them?
Pecking at the.
Yeah, they're picking at the Plecos. So I think the Plecos are taking action at night.
I don't know. I've never. I can almost disprove that theory, Steve. I think I'm gonna move my camera. I have Ancestress in with baby shrimp.
They don't bother them, eh?
They don't touch them.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because the tank is bigger and the angels are still pretty small, so they're spread out.
I'm not saying they can't touch them, but
it just seems to me like there's less than there were before. But it may be just because they've moved throughout the whole tank.
Right. I'm gonna move my camera over to my one exploding shrimp tank because it's pretty cool how many shrimp that are in there.
Yeah, those are awesome.
See how that is. Can we see? Oh, we can't see that good, but I'm gonna try it full screen here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so this is my red wine. It's everything in here now. They're having some crazy different looking babies. You see that Missouri back there, Steve, on the piece of cholla wood in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting some crazy King Kong colors here.
I can't get the size of them. They're so big.
Yeah, some of the adults are, and they get a little piece of zucchini too. But there is one or two green dragon Ancestress in here.
Okay.
And they don't touch them. Look how small some of the babies are. They don't touch any of them. We can get a better view than that. Give me 1 sec. Do way better than that. Oh, my headphones even reach. How's that? Can't see from there. Yeah, that's a little better. But yeah, no, this tank's this tank was weird. It like basically crashed for the longest time, and then boom, just took off like absolute crazy.
It's weird, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Something in the water was just not right, and then all of a sudden, whatever it was disappeared.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like it's this tank gets straight RO water, and then I remineralize it, but I do it the same every time. Like I don't mess with this tank.
Right.
I keep it stable. It does not have a heater, but the temperature in here stays stable. So
right.
Yeah, so I don't know why, but
they look fantastic.
Yeah, they're coming along. I basically have like 4 killer colonies of shrimp. 5 killer colonies of shrimp. My my blue bolts have exploded as well. My crystal reds are exploded. They're amazing. I'll switch the camera down to the crystal reds for a minute.
Yeah.
Everything's on this same rack, so it makes it pretty easy to do this. Here's a crystal red. I'll just do like a full view of the tank. See how that is. I can't tell from there. Oh, not bad. Come up a bit.
They're really big too, eh?
They are. This is a pretty mature group. these are all 20-gallon cubes.
Right.
But this is a pretty mature group in that tank. I just actually cleaned it up and trimmed stuff back because it was getting pretty crazy in there. You couldn't see to the back of the tank. But just 88 Amazonia, and a bunch of plants, some cholla wood, and one. I think this one's only got one sponge filter in the back. But
just a really fine layer of soil too, eh?
Yeah, not a lot. I guess there's probably like an inch and a half in there. Hello, color guppies. Welcome to the stream. We're just kind of going around our fish rooms, doing a bit of feeding and question and answer if you like. So, yeah, right now we're on my crystal red shrimp. And Steve has some baby angels right here.
See that one?
Yeah.
It's got that silver head. I think that one's going to be platinum.
It looks pretty platinum.
And I got another little one over here that's the same.
Now, I remember, Steve, with these ones that seem to have like red on their dorsal fin, they grew out of that, didn't they?
They did, yeah. So you'll see these ones have a lot, like almost like an olive green body, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the parents were, I don't have them anymore, but they were a koi, an orange body koi and a blue platinum.
Okay.
And this is how they turned out.
Oh, wow.
They don't have koi traits and they don't have platinum traits at all.
Now, is that just a glare, or is that one actually got a lot of red in it?
That's just a glare.
The one in the back.
Yeah, it's a reflection of the spike.
Clay pipe. Spike. Yeah. Okay.
But they're very shiny, which is why you see the reflection there.
Huh. You're gonna find with those L128s in there, Steve. You're gonna have to put a hang-on back filter or something on there to help with the sponges.
Yeah. So you know that hang on the back I had on the saltwater that had the protein skimmer in it that sucked.
Yep.
So I'm gonna use that.
Okay. Yeah. That should work well.
Yeah. Because it's got a massive amount of flow.
So, like what I do quite often, what I did tonight even on my 72-gallon bull front, when I stirred everything up and did a water change and everything, I actually fill the back of the hang-on back with just filter floss. Yeah. And just try to polish the water up because they just poop so much.
Yeah, you can see the sponge filter is pretty clogged up. This one, if I wasn't in call right now, I'd be probably working on this tank because it's been just over 2 weeks now. So
yeah, it's tough with them. They absolutely are pooping machines.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my Fisher woodcat females is out actually. Out booting around.
I do a quick like a bottom siphon every week, and then the filters and everything I do every couple of weeks.
Okay.
So I have a 2 week rotation, so I just keep going around, and I put the date on the tank so I know when I did the water change last.
I can't do that because everything's got different requirements here. Yeah. I gotta kind of do some more often, and some, unfortunately, that don't need it as often, don't get it as often.
Right. Yeah. Well, I have a bit of that. Like these guys, obviously, I'm gonna be, I do a bottom siphon every week, and then the filters every other week. But these are pretty small filters for this tank, so I have to switch that out. I want to put a bigger filter in. I have I have some really big sponge filters in tanks with very few fish, so I'm just going to swap them around.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. You
and
could
then
even go with like 4 in that tank.
Yeah, I've got this hang on the back here that I'm going to be putting on there as well.
Okay.
And then
That'll clean her up.
This one I hardly do any water changes on at all because there's very few fish in there and a ton of plants. So like there's the 3 big angels in here and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, not much bio load for
Siamese flying fish there and algae eater, and I got the 3 angels, and that's pretty much it. There's a couple of what are they? Emperor Ductors or.
Oh, okay.
There's only
hey,
a couple
Streetwise, good to see you. I figured you'd be in here. You're usually lurking around. Yeah, that's a good looking tank. It's pretty much just a take care of itself deal. I love stumps too. I love stumps. I have like 3 tanks here that have stump looking bogwood or whatever you want to call it, and
Right.
I love it. It just makes me think of like a lake. I guess there's always stumps in lakes.
I had this one lying on its side for a while, and it was taking up too much space, so I tilted it upright.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it definitely looks good.
But yeah, this tank just kind of does its thing.
Yeah, no, it most definitely looks good. I'm going to adjust down to, I'm going to go to our shark tank. This tank has never been much for breeding success, but it is extremely pretty. Hopefully that gets it in the shot when I bring it up. It's hard. I'm attached by cables with the headphones. Let's see what we got here.
Trying to open a bucket of flake food with one hand is kind of dangerous.
So that's our shark shrimp tank, Steve. The camera angle's not that great on it.
Plants look good.
But yeah, that's the thing about this tank is that it's always looks awesome. The plants look great, but it's never been super prolific with the shrimp. I'm going to try and get a little bit better camera angle on it here. I'm going to have to take my headphones off. Don't know if that's any better. A little bit.
Yeah, it looks a little closer.
Yeah, but that's just Lego, and I use fishing line with pieces of slate to hold that shark in place there.
Right.
I don't know. It never, like, this tank, I've never cleaned the glass. Never developed algae. It's got enough light for the plants, but requires very, very, very little maintenance. It's got some beautiful black King Kong Caridina shrimp in it. They breed a little bit, but not a lot. Yeah, Streetwise, that's a good strategy for your aquascaping. It's a big massive piece of wood in the middle. Just seems to, fish always hover around that. I'm a fisherman, so I've seen fish. I know where to look for fish to catch them, and they're always around a piece of structure or something. So why wouldn't you put that in your tank?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna give these guys a little bit of flake food, but
Are you?
I'm not sure how I'm gonna get in there.
Well, we put you on solo here so we can see your entire struggle. You got her. Nailed it.
It's
They're
just
so
my odd.
gentle when they eat.
Yeah, it's my oddball fish.
Yeah, we all have it, eh? That would be my rainbow tank, I guess. Would be my oddball tank.
And then we got this crazy mess down here.
Oh yeah, I forgot you became the convict breeder. You're gonna supply Ontario with convicts.
And this one.
Yep, you can keep it.
That's my one and only left.
I got none left. None left. I sold that one's brothers and sisters quite a while ago. And I sold all their babies just recently.
Yeah.
Actually, I gave most of them away to Elaine, actually, in Gravenhurst.
Right.
I even delivered them just to get rid of them.
Right.
I was done with the cribs.
I like these convicts just because of the color, eh?
They are different. That's most definitely for sure.
Not the standard black and gray. They're the female
like a calico cat.
Yeah, the female is like a creamsicle orange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fry will do good in that tank. There's probably a lot of breeders out there that would kill for green water like that.
There she is.
Yeah. Now, without the big orange belly, how do you tell the males from females?
That's the female. The male doesn't have the orange.
Okay, but if the color was the same, how would you tell the difference between the two?
Well, the male's got a bigger head, like a hump. They developed that nuchal hump.
Yeah.
And then they got the longer
trailers.
Yeah.
Other than that, they're pretty much the same, eh?
Yeah.
Now, have they spawned since you've had green water in there?
Well, they were in the tank that busted like last week.
Oh,
so
they're not.
Like these are all the babies they had in the tank when it broke.
I'm surprised they don't have more yet.
So they've been in there for about a week. So I'm expecting them to lay more eggs because she goes a lot more orange just before she's ready to spawn.
Okay.
And she's looking quite bright right now, so
she's probably ready to go.
My guess is within the next few days. And then they've got that cave there, and they built them another little cave here with a rock to block it off, and then there's another one at the back. So they got lots of spots to choose from.
Yeah, I'd say. So, yeah, they just need a flower pot.
Yeah.
So my next clownfish hatch will be next Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be next Tuesday. Next Tuesday night, I will have more larvae. So what I've been doing actually for my rotifers, because I'm like paranoid now about losing my culture because it's such a pain in the ass to get it back. It's expensive. It's not only that, it's like I got held up at customs. I got them on day 5. Like they're no good past day 5 when you're shipping them. And they were supposed to be there next day, but they're held up in customs because customs just does not like them coming to Canada from the US.
Right.
So what I'm doing is you have to, when you get your culture going, you absolutely have to harvest, like say 30 to 40% of your culture daily. when you get it going, or they overpopulate, overload, and ammonia kills them and they die. So that's what I've been doing. And so every couple of days I put a bottle of them in the fridge because they're good for 5 days after they go in the fridge.
Oh.
So they'll stay alive kind of in a dormant state. And then when you warm them up again, they'll go again. So I'm doing that. So I always have a backup. If my culture crashes, bam, I put them in. I've also been feeding my tank upstairs with them, feeding the corals loaded rotifers. So that's what I.
If you gotta throw them out, you might as well use them, right?
Yeah, most definitely. So I keep them in the fridge, or I put them in the tank upstairs. So hopefully Tuesday I still have tons of rotifers, and I can have a good hatch. Those are going to be freaking amazing. If that blue color goes into that metallic black and white, that's going to be freaking amazing.
You see the little baby just swimming like inches away from the adults. They don't even care.
No, they're too interested in each other. Yeah, they're too interested. But with that, what I'm saying is, like, the females look great. The tails on the females look great.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could ever get a big dorsal fin on the females as well. You wouldn't even need males then.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I got some of these little.
Yeah.
So the blue's coming out nice. Yeah, I can't wait to see them when they're fully grown.
Yeah, see how those tails and dorsal fins come out.
Yeah.
That'll be the trick, because those females look great, but maybe the males of that strain didn't have much dorsal fin. So you might have to work that in.
Yeah, well, I had these females for like 3 months, and they gave me 0 babies because I just bought them from the pet store in a tank full of females. There was no males mixed in.
Right.
So all the genetics are coming from the metallic male, and these ones, whatever they're made out of, I don't know, but.
Well, who knows then? If they, you just get them at Big Al's?
Yeah, they said they were, I think, Singapore or something like that. They were
Taiwan's or something, yeah.
Yeah,
who knows what they are then?
Somewhere over there.
But I guess you'll find out.
You don't generally see females, especially when they're that size, in the pet stores, unless they're clearing out old breeding stock.
Yeah.
In which, and if they're clearing out old breeding stock, they're usually still gravid when you get them, right? So.
Yeah, you'd think. That one she's got quite the hunchback on her, but that might be just from having that big ass tail.
Yeah, the big tail, and they're always swollen. Like this one up here in the corner. Kind of hard to get with the light, but.
Yeah. There she is.
Like they get so huge.
Mm-hmm.
They pop out, 200 or 300 babies.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're gonna need a lot more tanks.
Well, that's like I moved them all down here because there was getting to be way too many in the tank.
So are you going with those 18-gallon tanks as well in the fish room?
No, this is along with all the 18 gallons that I got 5 like regular 20s.
Right.
That were also drilled, so I just patched them.
Okay, so you're not going with the 18s in the garage.
No, so there's this one, and I think it was this. No, not this one, but I have over here. Yeah, the green water one is patched, and so is this one.
Oh, okay.
So I got them all from the same guy, and they were all drilled.
Have you been into Big Al's lately? I was gonna stop there the other day when we were car shopping, but I was too stressed out from car shopping.
I was there last week.
Yeah, how's their, like, are they getting shipments in
Off and on.
off and on?
Yeah, it's pretty slow.
Do they have much for clownfish in there?
No, not really.
No, he was pretty excited to buy them off me,
Yeah, I can imagine.
but
He's always asking me for angels, so I'm gonna bring him some.
are you? Problem I found, to be totally honest, is he just doesn't pay very good
Yeah,
there, to be
that's
honest.
okay. My plan. He told me if I bred the convicts, he would take every single one that I raise. So
Yeah,
that's my that's my ticket to new tanks for the garage.
there you go. Yeah, even if you get store credit, right?
Yep.
Start off with new stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to do 40 breeders in the garage.
Oh, wow. And that's just, are you going to divide them or anything, or is that going to be mainly for like bigger fry grow out tanks for
Uh,
angels and whatnot?
no, so that my plan is to have a wall that's kind of similar to this one, where I have, the 90 that you brought me, the 75, the 255s will all be on that wall, and
Okay.
those are going to be my grow outs for the angels.
Okay.
Um, and then I'm going to have a rack on either side of the wall, which probably resemble this one, but I'm gonna use the black metal racks like you guys have,
Okay.
and I'm gonna put 40 breeders and 20 gallon breeding tanks on those ones. So
That'll
I'll
work
have
out
a
good.
so yeah I'll have a mixture. I'll have 20 gallons for breeding pairs of angels or convicts or whatever.
Or your guppy colonies too. Like guppies do
Yeah,
well in 20s, right?
that's what I was thinking. The 40 breeders I'll use for a guppy colony or two.
Okay.
Like I have the pure blacks, and I have the black blue mix, and then I have my Dumbo ear experiment going over here.
And then you need tanks to raise out all the babies from them too.
Yeah, so I'm working on a little project right now. It looks kind of strange, um, but it's an old uh, sponge filter piece in the middle,
Yep. The
and
guts.
I'm gonna put all these fake plants around it. But I'm not gonna
Okay.
put a sponge. I'm not gonna put a sponge on it. It's just gonna be in the tank like that.
Okay.
So with all the fake cover, the babies will be attracted to it,
Okay.
and then from there, uh, let's see. I have this piece of PVC pipe that's going to go on there like that. I don't know if that will work. Yeah, that'll work.
What are you doing?
So I had this idea because I have a hell of a time catching all these baby fish out of a tank that's got all this floating plants and rocks and stuff. That it just makes a complete disaster out of the tank when you're trying to catch all the babies, right?
Yep.
So my plan is to put this on one side with the parents, with a matin filter splitting the tank into,
Okay.
and then
Run that
as
through a hole in the matin filter.
as the babies are attracted to the plants, they're going to get sucked up the filter pipe and through the matin filter into the other side.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
So
Have you done this before, or is this a new experiment?
no, this is a new experiment, so we'll see how this goes. But that's my plan. So all the babies will just get basically siphoned up and moved over to the other side.
Yeah, you're using an airlifter tube
Yep.
essentially to transport babies. Well,
Yep.
that's going to be interesting if it works. You'll have to keep us posted to see if that works.
Yeah.
So
So
are you? Oh, you don't even
I
got to use a rigid airline.
No, I'm just gonna put an air
Yeah,
stone down into the body of the sponge filter, and that's it.
yeah, that'll work for sure.
So I'm
Huh.
just waiting on the sponge to show up in the mail.
In the mail.
Yeah,
Oh, you're getting a.
I found some filter sponge media
Yep,
for $2 for
that's cheap.
for a 2x2 2 foot by 2 foot piece.
How thick?
So, it's an inch.
An inch.
So
2 inches. You're gonna need two of them.
yeah, I got two of them coming. So
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
so it cost me $5 for the 2 sheets. So that's
That's
pretty
cheap
decent.
because that stuff's
It's
expensive.
it's expensive. I was surprised I found it for that cheap, but
Did you get the uh, what is it? 30 pores per square inch?
yeah, I got
Or
the medium. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a medium pour.
Okay.
Uh, it's not like it's not a 20 and it's not like a 30 or 40.
Hmm.
It's somewhere in between.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work, man. For sure.
Yeah, so that'll be the next experiment that I try out here. So then if that works out, that'll be how I set up the tanks in the garage.
There we go. I got my camera back. Yeah, no, that'll work for sure, man. Most definitely. So, what we talked a little bit earlier about, we were talking about, we're not going to do the Zoom meetings for the Berry Club anymore, uh, just
Yeah,
because there wasn't much participation.
well, it was basically the same as what we're doing right now. It's you and I.
Yeah, yeah, and a couple other people would join in. Um, so yeah, I think maybe I'd be willing to do it if they wanted to do it on here. If we had a couple other members that wanted to come in, we'll do maybe a day a month. We'll say a night a month.
Yeah.
And if other members want to come on and do a fish room feeding, we got to get Tyler. I'm trying to get Tyler on. I don't know
Right.
how to pronounce his last name. Is it Bailey or Bale? Um, but anyways, he's got some monster cool fish that are pretty neat to see feeding. But the
Yeah.
problem we had when he came on with our thing was it was choppy, right, with the Zoom
Right.
meetings. So if we
Right.
could bring him on this, that would be pretty cool. I think maybe Brittany'd want to come on, show off her fish room a bit.
Yeah, for
There's a
sure.
there's a few people. JD Wren, I know Brian. He was pretty into it as well. So I think we can get up to on this platform with the subscription I have. I think we can get up to 10 people on here at one time if we really wanted to.
Yeah, that would be awesome if we can get them.
Now, I don't know what do we do for that? It's not an official brass, what would you call it, sponsored thing
Right.
or whatever. We gotta kind of be careful there, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm not even sure if you need to mention that it's a brass meeting. Like if you just invite them outright.
Yeah, just invite. I don't know. I guess I'm worried about not including people who may not know what's happening or whatever. I don't know. Um, yeah, I just wonder if I even put it on the brass. I guess I could come and check out these people feeding their fish. I'm not breaking any rules by doing that, I guess.
No, you're just inviting other people to your channel, right? So it's not.
Yeah, and brass members are welcome to come and watch.
Yeah, I mean,
It,
anybody can come and watch, right? So
oh, did you read on Facebook that Drast, the Durham region, is actually they're going to try and do a Zoom auction?
I did see that. Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That'd be different, eh? Do you think it would work well?
Um, from what I read through the instruction sheet and stuff that they put on their website
Yeah.
just to see how it was going to work, and it seems like it's going to be okay. Like they're still taking all the collections of cash from the
Oh,
buy
okay.
from the buyers and then distributing to the sellers, and
Okay.
the buyers get all the sellers contacts and the seller gets all the buyers contact of all the stuff that they've sold or purchased, and then it's up to them to arrange a time for pickup.
Hmm. That could be interesting. But I'm gonna
Did I lose you?
a little bit for a sec.
Right. Yeah, so I'm not sure where I
I
left off
wonder
there,
how.
but
I wonder how. I think I heard most of what you said. The buyer and the sellers are responsible. They trade information and everything. Uh, but
yeah,
it's, yeah, we have such a geographical thing in Ontario. Like you could be 20
yeah,
hours from one end of Ontario to the other. So
that's the only thing that I couldn't figure out how they were going to handle. But they've the club themselves have basically washed their hands of it, right? They take the collection of payment and distribute
yeah.
the cash to the sellers, and then connect the sellers and the buyers together, and then from there it's up to them to figure out how they're going to do the exchange.
Hmm.
So if the guy lives in Ottawa and the buyer's in Hamilton, guy's got a bit
Yeah.
of a drive. The guy's got a bit of a drive, or they got to arrange shipping.
Yeah. And it's getting to be wrong time of year for that. Real
So
quick.
you have to be that. That was the only thing that I was kind of curious how they were going to set up, because I would, if I don't know who the seller is and where they are, I would be less tempted to bid on it, because I don't want to drive to Ottawa to pick up fish.
Yeah. And I guess there's going to be rules as well. Obviously, how do you become a seller? How do you become a buyer? Do you have to register with the auction beforehand?
Yeah, it's all
There's
there's a
probably a lot of
registration.
stuff.
Yeah, there's a registration page on their website.
Is it the
So
same? Is it the same registration as it was for the regular auctions? Like you
I
could
think,
pre-register and
yeah,
and show what you have and
pretty much, yeah. The sellers will register and then upload pictures of the things they're selling, and
hmm,
so a lot of that is the same as what they were doing before.
huh. I wonder. Yeah, I guess the part that if I think if it's gonna screw up, it's gonna be the glitchiness of Zoom.
Yeah, quite possibly, especially if there's a couple hundred people.
Yeah, like it glitches out with 10 people sometimes.
Right.
So yeah, I guess
Well,
that's
be interesting to see how it turns out, for sure.
yeah, most definitely, man. Most definitely.
We from our club, there's way too much infrastructure to even start setting up before we could even do that.
No, we
There's
can't even put a Zoom meeting together.
Yeah. Well, there's no auction registration. There's no
No, and we were
there's barely a web page, right? So
yeah, no, it would be really hard. It would be hard, and it's I don't know. The whole an entire part of the auction is actually going to the auction and seeing people you haven't seen in a long time and
yeah, for sure.
the the rush, I guess, of being in the auction and seeing someone else putting their hand up and you're putting your hand up, or
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's kind of the whole I don't know,
Get,
all the
get
coolness
caught
of an
up in it.
auction can
Yeah.
can be taken away.
Oh yeah. It's definitely not going to be the same. Uh,
But I guess on Zoom, if you got two people yelling at each other trying to buy something, I guess it wouldn't be any different if that's how they're doing it.
I I think there's features in there that will allow you to like raise a hand,
Okay.
kind of thing. So that's what they're going to be using to indicate somebody bidding.
Okay, I figured you just unmuted yourself and yelled.
Yeah, I think that would be too chaotic. I think it's just the auctioneers that are going to be speaking.
Yeah, no doubt. It would be interruptions constantly. Nobody would follow the rules.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
bro.
that's going to be interesting to see how that turns out.
Maybe they'll lay the road here. They'll lay the roadmap for how things need to be done for a little while, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to be.
Who knows, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, more people that try to work some of this stuff out. That's all the better. I know some clubs like our club is I'm going to say all but folded because of this. Um,
Yeah,
it's
it's gone pretty quiet. I mean, I've been trying to at least keep the meetings going, but other than that, it's I'm posting a lot of pictures and stuff on the Facebook page, but I don't see a lot of other people doing it. Like you're posting your videos there, and Brittany's posting some of her sales items, and I'm posting pictures of my fish room. And but outside of that,
there's been a few questions. A few people have asked some questions and stuff,
yeah,
which is great.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, so a lot of the members, yeah, just are
yeah,
not
like a
doing
lot of
anything.
those questions aren't even from members, right? They're just from people that have joined the Facebook page. They weren't even paid members.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the club. I hope good things do happen, but seems like she's just on hold for the time being.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't foresee the schools opening up their rental spaces for any time this year, maybe even into next year.
And if you ask me, I've never liked the idea of us being in a school in the first place. It's not the fact that we're in a school. It's the fact that the school can't quite often doesn't offer us what we need, right? For it, like if it snowed that day and the schools were
Yeah,
closed,
yeah,
oh,
exactly.
it's beautiful at night, but the school is closed, so there's no janitor there, so all the extra stuff
Right.
uh, doesn't happen. All summer long, we can't have a meeting. Why couldn't we still have a meeting one day a month in the summer?
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah,
It would feel more like a year-round club then.
right.
Um, things like that. I just found maybe a different type of meeting place would be better.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, the Zoom calls. I think it was June when I started it. Right.
Mhm.
We had more attendance through the summer than we do now.
Yeah, it just kind of died right off. But I think a lot of people were also frustrated with trying to figure out how to use Zoom if they're maybe a little less technologically advanced than others.
Yeah, it could be.
And if they didn't have a great Wi-Fi or internet connection, they really struggled with Zoom.
Right.
So that's what I think some people got frustrated with that. And some people don't trust Zoom. They think that China's going to take all your information if
Yeah.
you use Zoom.
Well, they had a lot of security issues when they first launched Zoom. Like people were able to join any conference room as long as they had the conference ID number. Like
Oh, okay.
there was no password protection or anything. So yeah, if you guessed at a number, you could join into a call and not be invited.
But to be quite frank, for the couple of people that were like, I won't use Zoom with my computer or my stuff or my whatever. If you've ever done a Facebook post, guess what? Everybody's got your information.
Yep.
You're already euchred. You're so far behind the ball on trying to save your identity that
Yeah. Exactly.
it's gone, man. I could be talking in my kitchen and I could say to Nicole, and my phone will be off, like not supposed to be listening. And I'll say, you know what? I think I'm gonna have a midlife crisis, and I should go get a dirt bike. Next thing I know, I go on Facebook, and I'm telling you, there will be ads for
Yeah.
dirt bike boots, dirt bike pants, new
Right.
goggles,
And
helmets, gloves.
it's funny. I've seen the same thing happen, and they'll deny up and down that they do this, and yet everybody has this proof of it.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. It's shit. Yeah, every time we've gone looking for something. Oh, I was talking to my dad about one of my sons getting his boating license.
Yep.
I've had my boating license since 2001. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Same.
need I don't need mine. My Facebook starts sending me ads. Get your free boater exam here. Get your boater exam here. It's like I already got it. You guys weren't eavesdropping good enough.
You didn't listen long enough.
No, they should have listened to the whole conversation, not just the key words. But yeah, it is bad. So that doesn't bug me with the Zoom stuff. I found it a bit choppy, and now that I'm looking at the clarity that we have here, the picture quality is much different too.
Yep.
There's no 1080p there.
Yeah. Right, small startup companies trying to do large scale streaming, and they always run into problems like that.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, Steve-O, I'm about ready to wrap her up for tonight. We've been talking for a couple hours, and my ears are getting sore from these headphones. I made it an hour longer than I normally do with these on, so they're actually not too bad. But
seems like our conversations always go for a couple of hours.
Yeah, we're ramblers. Not even always talking about fish, but I think we've covered quite a bit of fish feeding and fish talk tonight. Everybody should be happy. There's a couple other live streams going on that are much more popular than us. I know Bob Kaler just said he's modding over at Lucas Brett's stream. Well, Lucas Brett's probably has like 600 people watching his stream right now. He's quite a bit more famous than us. But if you haven't watched, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna. He does Friday night live stream too, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he starts at like 9:30 or something like that. But yeah, he's got some pretty wild looking stuff. He does things a different way, and I like that. He kind of goes to the beat of his own drum.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I think we've covered enough here. And what I was gonna say is we're almost 1,000 subscribers here, Steve.
That's awesome.
I think we're, I don't know, 960 something now. So that would be awesome when I get to 1,000. I'll be almost famous.
So you're gonna do a special episode for that?
Yeah, I don't know. What should I do? What should I do? I'm not very creative, so I need ideas.
All right. Well, we can think of stuff.
Could do something. I don't like the idea of a giveaway or anything like that because people are all over the place, man. Some people watch from Australia.
Right.
It's just not feasible for me to be shipping stuff to Australia. Right? So I would like to do something else. But we'll figure it out. We'll talk.
All right.
Okay, everybody. Well, thanks for watching. I think we're going to wrap it up for the night. And we'll try and do this a little bit more often. Things have been hectic around here. Probably the next update will be the clownfish rack. I got to take some time and get that clownfish rack going. I'm getting in dire need for it. So that'll be.
That.
Well, you're gonna, because I think you're gonna help me with it. So, so I think you're gonna see it real good.
All right.
But okay, everybody. Thanks for watching. We're peacing out. See you all next time. Happy fish keeping until then. Bye for now. Thank you, mods, for modding our channel. I always forget the thank yous, but I didn't. I actually remembered. Bye for now.